Super Mario Wonder. Why we don't have a Mario Odyssey 2 yet. But for now, we'll have to settle for Super Mario Wonder, a 2D Mario game, and what a fun game. It's filled with everything a 2D Mario game should have. Fun, new, good music, gameplay, levels, and power-ups. Starting it up, you have quite a few characters to choose from. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, the Toads, and Toadette. And then you have the Yoshis and Nabbit, but just like in New Super Mario Bros. U, if you pick these characters, you don't take damage, but you also can use the power-ups. So going into this, Bowser forms with a castle using Royal and Wonder Seeds, and now it's up to you to stop him. The levels and gameplay are good, they're not too hard at the beginning, but as the game progresses, they could start to get a bit more challenging. There's surprisingly quite a bit of ways to progress through certain levels, with some levels even having secret endings, so it pays to explore every nook's cranny. It's like Sonic Mania, where you get rewarded for exploring. Of course, you could always just make a beeline dash for the end too, that still works. So Mario Wonder is pretty accessible to both newcomers and longtime vets of the series. So with the new Mario game comes new power-ups. You have a bubble flower, which lets you shoot flowers at enemies, which causes them to burst. Then you have the drill power-up, which allows you to dig in the dirt. And then the elephant power-up, the main headliner of the game. Did you know that if you grab this, you turn into an elephant, and you're able to squash blocks and enemies with ease. You're able to shoot water out of your trunk to hydrate plants, which unlocks stuff that you can get in your way, and you can melee. Then you have action badges. Equip these and you can either use your cap as a parachute, run faster, start every level with a mushroom, escape from lava or poison once, or do a running wall climb jump. Out of the ones I've unlocked, the one I use the most is the wall jump, since more often than not, it can get you out of pretty tight spaces like falling down a pit, or you can use it to get somewhere you normally can't. My least favorite one would have to be the one that lets you float at the end of a dash jump. I just don't see or feel a difference between having it on and off. You have 6 worlds to explore, but there's also a place in between called the Petal Isles. These are the bridges to the other worlds, and the isles even have their own levels and challenges. You'll be passing through here a lot, and while in the overworld, there's a few secrets to find with hidden pipes that are similar to the paintings from Mario Odyssey that give you a preview to a future world. Now, with the addition of Captain Toad. I've only found one. And then you also have these shops that are scattered around where you could buy lives, Wonder Seeds, power-ups, and standees, which are basically calling cards you leave in levels to show you've been there. I guess they're fine collectibles to buy, but I didn't really do much else with them except buy 2 of them. The way you buy stuff is with flower coins, which are completely separate from the main usual coins you pick up. And from what I was able to tell, golden coins are worthless. You can't buy anything with them. You only get a life when you get 100 of them, so the flower coins is where it's all at. Also, while in the overworld, you can find poplins standing around that you can get flower coins to, and they'll usually fix or clear a path to a blocked off level. So they're sort of like the Lumas from Mario Galaxy that you need to feed Starbits to so they can transform. While traversing the overworld, you come across challenges. These can be anything from focusing on a single skill like wall jumping, crouch jumping, or arenas where you have to KO enemies or race to the end of a level. World 3 is nothing but challenges, ranging from skill checks to reaction times, so Mario Wonder certainly isn't lacking in variety. World 1 is a plains world, World 2 is a cloud world, but the path to get there is a snow world. World 3 is a jungle, 4 is a desert, 5 is a mine, and 6 is a lava world. You also have these flowers that talk to you throughout every level, but I don't know what they're for honestly, but you could turn them off in the settings. The game also has its fair bit of weird stuff too. Throughout every level, you can grab a Wonder Shroom to get an extra Wonder Seed, and it basically transforms the level for a certain amount of time, and you have to race to the end to grab the seed. But in the second level, there's this singing piranha plants. It's funny, but still pretty weird. But these segments are cool because at a certain point, you come across one where it makes everything on the wall and you have to traverse the level that way. And there's also the one where you get chased by a Shadow Mario. That one's kind of anxiety inducing. There's just a lot of creativity in these parts. Each world ends with a castle. Of course, you fight Bowser Jr. No Koopa Kids here. It's always something new in this one though. In one, you shrink while he grows, and in another, the floor turns into ice or honey, so you're all slow or sliding. And occasionally, there's airship levels. No boss at the end of these though. I guess the difficulty is supposed to come with actually getting through to the ends. At least it could have been fine to at least have something like, I don't know, like the Koopa Kids, or like the ones in New Super Mario Bros. DS, where each world had their own unique bosses. They could have at least had something like that for the airship levels. The music and sound effects are pretty good. They revised the jumping sound, the fireball sounds, and when you ground pound, the sound of cymbals crashing plays, which is a nice change. You can never go wrong with Nintendo music though, it's always usually pretty good. The game visually looks good too. There's a lot of atmospherics going on with the fog and particles. I never would have expected to see that in a Mario game. The models are pretty good too for what they need to be. They kind of give off that small miniature statue aesthetic to it. So for enemies, you have your usual Goombas, turtles, but with new enemies thrown in. You have Smackarols that jump out from under you. Then you have these giant Smackarols, which are kind of anxiety inducing. Then you have these spiky enemies that jump when you do, and they're annoying. They've killed me more times than I would like to admit. And then you have these rhino things that destroy anything in their paths. And also piranha plants could walk now. This is just a really good Mario game. This doesn't feel like a new Super Mario Bros. Switch or anything like that. Even the music doesn't have a new Super Mario Bros. Feel to it. You know what I'm talking about. Everything about Super Mario Wonder feels new and good, with a lot of stuff in between to mix up gameplay, because the game is actually really fun and it could actually be pretty difficult, but not too much where you'll be left feeling frustrated and just want to drop the game. Each level even has their own visible star rating to show difficulty. You know, technically speaking, you don't even need to do the hard ones because you don't even have a level order. It's just whatever you want to do. You can easily only do the easy 1-star ones, or only do the hard 4-star stuff when those start showing up. So why we don't have anything about a Mario Odyssey 2? Everything I just mentioned, and combined with a pretty large overworld filled with its own secrets, Super Mario Wonder feels pretty fresh and free, and for sure has cemented itself as one of the best Mario games, and has definitely left a new benchmark for how 2D Mario should be. But surely it wouldn't hurt to hear anything about Mario Odyssey 2, right?